What's up, Schwartz Force? Welcome back to the channel. Now, as you can see, I'm not doing my normal face-to-face kind of introduction. I'm just jumping right into it. I have a kind of limited on time this week, so I wanted to do a really cool video for you guys. And as you can see in the title down below, this is going to be how to open the caseback of your watches without damaging them or causing scratches. And this is going to be for the most common types of watch casebacks that you're going to come across. So in case if you're new to the channel, my name's Dave. May the Schwartz be with you. And hey, did you know it's a great day to wear a watch? Boom! Today I am in my honeymoon phase with the Tessel Explorer. I just recently picked this up off of eBay, I should say. Got a pretty fair deal on it, lower than what I would have paid buying it brand new. Of course, it was used, and yeah, really good. So I'm looking forward to doing my review on this for you guys, so stay tuned for that. Now, before we start opening this watches up, I'm going to suggest that if you don't have a watch repair kit or tool pack, or however you want to call it, that you pick one of these up. I'll put a link in the description down below. They're super cheap. You can usually get them under 20 bucks, even less if you go to AliExpress. But it's going to have a couple of tools. I have a bunch of duplicates and things here, but essentially it's going to come with some pins for removing links. It's going to come with screwdrivers. I have extra screwdrivers in here. This is a pin removal tool. I have a couple of those, and then you're going to see a little mini mallet. This one came with a bunch of extra springs. This here is a caseback opener. We'll get to this shortly. This also holds the watch, so when you're taking out links of the bracelet, this comes in handy. And then these tools as well to remove casebacks. And finally, this kit came with a little pair of precision tweezers. So all of these things we're pretty much going to be using. Do yourself a favor and get one of those if you haven't. That will come in handy when you start opening up watches to replace batteries and whatnot. Okay, so the most common type of watch caseback that you're going to come across is a simple push style caseback. These are just held in with pressure. They can still have a O-ring to help with some water resistance. So these do not screw down directly to the case. They just kind of pop on and pop off. And I'll show you here. The way that you're going to open these, you're going to see along this ridge here, it looks flat, like completely circular. However, you're going to come to a point where there is a little lip. In this case, it's right up here by the lug. So you see that little lip? Hopefully that's showing up on camera there. That's where you're going to pry under. You can see where that creates a little gap there between the caseback and the case. So this is the tool that we're going to use for opening that case. You'll notice this has a scalpeled edge. I've seen videos of people trying to use a knife, which is similar, yes, except that the edge of a knife is made to slice and cut. And I highly recommend you do not use a knife or other tool to open these watches. Use the right tools and everything will be fine. You won't injure yourself or damage your watch. Now, this is a piece of thick plastic, and you can see I use this all the time. Kind of like, I don't know, just plastic sheeting. You can get this. It's thicker than like a lunch bag, like a Ziploc bag or anything. It's much thicker than that. It's probably like, I don't know, 2 or 3 mil thick, but this creates a nice little buffer between your sharp edge and the metal on the case itself. So what you're going to do is just set the plastic on top of the caseback. We're going to use this edge and we're going to get underneath there, and you can just hold the watch still with one hand, and then you're just going to see how that slipped. So it's a perfect example of why you want to use this plastic. And you're just going to pry underneath, and then you're going to pop that off. Now, just be careful. What I would probably recommend too, what I should have done, I'm using this leather valet mat, but you can also put like a cloth underneath the crystal, especially if it's not sapphire, just so you don't scuff or scratch the glass on the front. You might want to put a cloth or something a little soft on that side. I should have mentioned that beforehand. But as you can see, we got the case open. This is where you could do things like your battery change or whatnot. And then of course, when putting it back on, let me give you a closer look at that lip there. Now in this particular case, you will see this little O-ring, so that helps with the water resistance. Now there may be a case where this O-ring can come loose, so all you want to do is make sure that you put that back into that groove before you pop the case back onto the watch. What I'm going to do is just line this right back up where it was. And then it's just as easy as pressing it back into place. It's going to take a little bit of force. Okay, you may feel it pop back into place, or you may hear it click back into place, but as you can see, so this case back is pressed back in, and you can see it's only giving water resistance of 30 meters, so that's the easiest and most common type of caseback that you're going to see on these cheaper watches. Now, the next most common type of caseback that you're going to come across is a screw down caseback like this. And you'll know this type of caseback because it's going to have these grooves. Every so often you're going to see these grooves along the outer edge there. And this actually turns clockwise to tighten, counterclockwise to loosen. And the tool we're going to be using is this one here. Now, they do make different versions. They have some with a handle. I feel like the tool with the handle, because of the way that this is positioned, you're putting a lot of torque this way, and it's easy to maybe slide off and cause damage, unnecessary damage. So I don't recommend that. It's just personal preference, but I like this one because all the torque is just right there. You're just twisting it. Just a little easier to manage, in my opinion. Now, in this case, we're going to go ahead and remove the strap or bracelet from the watch, and then we're going to use this tool here. It's a little block, and you'll notice there's a little wing nut. And basically what you do is you're going to place the case, and you're just going to tighten that down, and this is going to hold the watch in place while we twist this off. So with this tool, as you rotate this portion, you're going to see these little prongs are going to move either inward or outward. Okay, so we're going to size this so I have it fitting these grooves so it's spaced just right, and then we're going to take our piece of plastic. You might have to adjust it just slightly. Okay, now once we have it in there, I'm going to go ahead and hold this whole piece and then twist it, and that is going to allow us, should be able to remove it by hand at this point. And you can take off your caseback. Now again, same thing, you're going to see an O-ring along the edge there. You might see another one on the inside. And then of course, just carefully place this back on. Make sure that when you're tightening this that you are in the groove so you don't cross thread. Now me personally, I always like to hand tighten what I can. It's just, again, less room for error when you do it this way. And then we'll go ahead and put our tool back on. Make sure that's lined up in there. And then same thing, we'll hold it and we'll twist it clockwise until it's tight. I like to go nice and tight on these, and then of course loosen up this wing. And there you go. So that is how you would remove the screw down casebacks. Very easy, not real difficult, just takes a little bit of patience. And again, really this is the key. The little plastic sheet is the biggest tip I can give you to prevent scratches in case you slip. Okay, and lastly, we have the Rolex style Oyster Caseback. So a lot of times you may see these like on this Tissell, for example. You can see that it is solid, but they work the same way. So I'm gonna show you here on the Holland's Datejust Homage. You'd be kind of surprised. So you don't use this tool. The easiest way to do it is just this is one of my dog's toys, like a little rubber ball. So something that has a little bit of give to it, but it has a grippy kind of texture. I've seen people use like sticky tack also, something with grip onto the back and then pushing it counterclockwise. So you'll see here, I took this off the bracelet because it's just easier to hold. And so same thing, you just kind of, I like to squeeze the ball and push it up against the back and then just rotate. And just do that a couple times. So once you loosen it, then you can just unscrew it by hand. This method's really good because you're not actually using any metal. It's just a piece of rubber, so it's not going to cause any unnecessary damage. And then to put it back on, just reverse it. So make sure you're in the grooves, hand tighten, and get our ball, and then we'll just tighten it back up. And of course, just check, make sure, yeah, that's on there. It's on there nice and tight. There you go. So that's the easiest way to take off the Rolex style Oyster Casebacks. Now the last one, this is less common, but I wanted to show it anyway, and that is going to be a simple screw caseback. So in this case, there you can see we just have little common screws. Now it may be a Phillips screw, but basically same thing. In your repair kit, you're gonna have some precision screwdrivers, and we'll just get in there and loosen these up. Now obviously I don't want to take this case back off, very simple, but you get the point. Just basically unscrew these. You shouldn't have any issue with scratching the case back, but if you wanted to, you could always put that plastic nearby in case you think your screwdriver is going to slip, but you shouldn't have that problem. And that'll allow you to access the back of these types of cases. So there you have it. Now I hope this video helped you guys and gals out. If it did, make sure you give it a thumbs up. That really helps out my channel. And of course, join the Schwartz Force if you haven't done that yet. you have a moment to still join. I'd love to have you be part of the Schwartz Force family, so click on my face over here. And of course, if you want to see more content like this, definitely check out this video. I know you'll enjoy it. As always, may the Schwartz be with you, and I will look forward to seeing you guys at the next one. Take care.